Microphone showing line levels. Everything looks good. Ah, now it's showing 1080p source. Very good, very good. Okay, Malk, that worked. That was correct. It was downscaling in OBS for some reason. So, Malk was correct. The Malk is wise. All right. So, when we left off, I was tearing down the very beginning stuff, and we were starting to build actually, like, actual factory adjacent things. Looks like we didn't finish, though. Did this copper setup, did the power stuff, but didn't do iron rods, and didn't do plates, and didn't do concrete. Or screws. Got a little ways to go still, but this was the day that I set aside to do all of this, so let's go do it. How's everyone doing? It's been a hectic Tuesday afternoon. Everything was breaking. I think I'm gonna have to replace the cable on my microphone because it's loose and it keeps coming undone. So Cat, remind me, Cat or Tencel, really, remind me to do that after. I need to replace the microphone cable because it's loose and it keeps coming undone, and I do not know why. If I lose, like, volume at some point, like, I look like I'm talking, but I'm not being heard, let me know, because that's a thing. Okay. Yay. Four square breathing. Oh, luckily, I have a whole bin of those. I'll help you with that later. Right now, let's actually build something, shall we? And the worst part is I've been looking forward to this all week. I have been looking forward to this all week. Gå vinna. Vi build nu. Vi build factory. Let's do 2 of these, 4 of these. I need some rippers and some cable. Okay. So, Milk, so Cat, so Tencel, how is everyone? Besides Tencel needing a new cable. How's your Tuesday, Cat? A big pile of iron. Oh, I asked how you were doing. I also said that you were correct about the 1080p thing. The day has been good, but now I gotta go participate in capitalism. I'm sorry. Don't let them beat you down. But yes, Malk, you were absolutely correct. That was the bad setting. The only problem is I had to completely exit OBS in order to make a change to it. And I've been trying to figure out the right setting on that for a week. So, yay. I appreciate the help on that one. That was a load-bearing power cable. How are we doing at manufacturing nuggies? We have some nuggies, that's good. Nuggies is good. Here. Actually, let's do You can have 100. I want to eventually get all of these guys over to log nuggies. There we go. Because then I can take all of that. Oh, yeah. I mean, I've always had sort of a difficult relationship with OBS since the very beginning. Now I can throw all of that biomass in to have it get turned into logs. Go make me more biomass. Ah. So yeah. When do you leave, cat? Because if nothing else, I can fill your eardrums on the bus. So you've been playing Just Human, I believe, Malk? You start at 3 p.m. So yeah. You're probably already on the bus then? You don't need to answer that on stream, by the way. Let's do perfect right angles. Nudge mode is your friend. There we go. Much better. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, 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 no. I'm very big on protecting the cat where I can. This has been demonstrated in the past. Already out of rippers. Can't wait till I automate those. Speaking of which... La 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 la. Root assembly. Not enough plates. Okay. So now the schedule is starting to like coalesce somewhat. We're doing tabletop RPGs on Mondays and Fridays. Other stuff is going on Thursdays in an event, so hard to concentrate on what you say. Okay. And guessing Just Human event or something else? I don't know much about Just Human, so... So current schedule, TTRPGs, Monday, Friday. Be doing this like I am now, probably Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, with And Thursday's off. Probably Sunday's off. That's the current plan, anyway. I thought about doing a few other games like 14. Or maybe if I'm just in a mood, I might just slarp it for a bit. Because personally, I think that game is criminally underrated. But it really depends on the kind of mood I'm in. I really like doing Satisfactory because it's very chill. It's very chill. And these are going to be rod boys. Make the rods. Oh, did I forget to power the... I did. Actually, you know what? No. No. Hang on a bit. Let's do this. Let's be smart about this. Empty my inventory first. There we go. Backspace, the final frontier. Hi, Silver. Yeah, you're on the wrong account. But thank you. Yes, we figured out what it was. Malk was able to point me in the right direction. I had to restart OBS because it was in the output settings because it was apparently downscaling. But once that was set correctly, it now shows as 1080p. So, you know, big thanks to Malk on that one. However, also my microphone was not working. That's apparently the cable has become loose. That's what I get for using old Xbox cables. Oh, they're bad. I don't understand how this happens. I don't understand how Xbox cables get to be so low quality, but I blame Microsoft. You're still on the wrong account, Silver. You do what, Tencel? Context? Bloop, bloop, bloop. Oh. Ah. The old Xbox cables. I don't even remember where I got all of these old Xbox cables. I'm just trying to put them to good use, you know? But I'm pretty sure if I dig around enough, I can find some more of those cables that are not loose. I'm a pack rat. I have tons of cables. I really need to move the power. The power is in the way. Maybe we'll work on that once we get part assembly up and running. Yeah. Plates. I need plates. I know I'm checking off stuff on here right now, so I'm going to be on the right account. So I've been... Okay. I did go ahead and add the schedule on the TransXP TTRPG account. So it's like the schedule is on there now. See, this is the problem. They're in the way. Time to get creative. It's not symmetrical and I hate it, but whatever. Oh, the bot settings, right, yeah. Okay, what's going on? You're feeding. Oh, you don't have power. Much better! Okay, rods being made. Yeah, do I have enough plates? I think so. You planning to stream later, Silver?
Milestone reached. More complex assembly of parts can now be automated. Project assembly parts can now be constructed and sent up via the space elevator. Note: project parts are too complex to produce by hand.
Cool. And that also unlocked copper sheets, which aren't useful right now, but gonna need them eventually, so might as well have them start building. I should have put more space in here. Oh well. Okay, if you're still streaming by the time I get bored here, I will raid into you. Also, Kat, how are you holding up? You were on all day yesterday. Feeling okay? Usually I find if I'm trying to go three-way, just putting the splitter right in the middle seems to work the best. When in doubt, build more foundations. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know why you'd be streaming on TransXP TTRPG. Unless you were doing something tabletop related, of course. Basically, for everybody else's sake, we try to keep the tabletop stuff on the TransXP TTRPG account. These accounts, like our more personal accounts, these are more on, like, gaming stuff, you know? Now the question becomes, where do I want to hook this up to power? No, well, that works. Bamf. Put in a merger. Oh, they're not set. That's why. Okay. Another line of production working. Hmm. Have we got some more nuggy logs? Yes, we've got some more nuggy logs. Next on the to-do list, I think is probably going to wind up being iron plates. So now let's talk about mods for a minute. What do you notice about these power poles that's different for those who play this game? Big red light, big white light. Basically, it's just a mod that changes the power poles so that they have a color indication as to their status. That's all it does. Very simple. Provides information to the player without going into this panel. It also has a third mode where it's yellow, and that indicates the breaker is tripped. Personally, I like things that just provide information. They don't do anything else. They don't have any function other than providing information. Must have come from the other direction. I planned this poorly, clearly. Okay. Another one's the little sign on the end of the box. You don't get this on the base version either. Very simple little mod. It provides information about what's in the box. What's in the box? Even gives you, like, how full it is. Which, honestly, bonus. It has some customization options, but I don't really mess with this. I just want to know what's in the box. Especially if it's like I have dozens and dozens of boxes all lined up, and it's like, what the heck did I put in all of these? There's a little sign that pops up automatically. It's like, oh, this is full of rods. That usually indicates that it's empty. And the Satisfactory logo just means he has no idea what's in there. Usually it means it's empty and it's not sure what's supposed to be in there. He's still not sure because that piece of wood I put in exited immediately. I may have to do some more forest depopulation. Just for the sake of powering the factory. You'll have to tell me what you changed, Silver. Not while I'm live. Shall we investigate our downstairs neighbors? Here, Spoodler, Spoodler, Spoodler. You're on retaliate. Goodbye. Here. I think it's having a pathing problem. Yep. Yep. It's having a pathing issue. It can't path through the mushroom. Oh boy. Pathing is hard. Okay. You're free.
Suggests strong molecular bonding features frequently observed in adhesives and medicine, both beneficial for field research.
Okay, you gonna go anywhere? I freed you from mushroom jail. Gonna go anywhere? I guess not. Goodbye. Oh my god. Coffee stain, this isn't this hard. I mean, if it was me, I would just allow the mobs to path through the mushrooms, but, you know, I'm not a game dev, what do I know? Shrooms. I'm gonna glare at you maliciously, Mercer Sphere. Okay, I'm done now. Stuff I can't collect annoys me. Or stuff that I can collect but doesn't do anything, I should say. 3 Spoodler boys and some shrooms. Recycle my other bits, please. Thank you. Okay. First things first, we need to make rippers. Preferably mass produce them. Because there's no way I'm going to the craft bench and sitting there beating on it and building 50 of them by hand. No way. We've got 2 options right now, as far as I can see. So, we have all the alternate recipes. Just because of that one mod we discussed last time. Rubber is irrelevant. We're nowhere near rubber. Gonna ignore that. The top one, of course, is the default. If you look at that, in your opinion, what's the most efficient? If you want to put it in terms of like what uses the least amount of materials, I'd say it's the rubber one, honestly. It's the only one that uses only 3 plates, but it requires a rubber, which is like tier 4, which is nowhere near anything we can use right now. Beyond that, the base recipe looks the most efficient in terms of just not using up materials. Problem is, I hate screws. Hate screws. Hate screws. Screws are terrible. The main problem with screws is the base version requires you to go through multiple steps to manufacture them, and the second problem is that it requires hundreds of them a minute, which is annoying, to say the least. It doesn't really work in the beginning of the game when your belts are slow. I need rips to make rips. Got it. Guess I'll have to handcraft some. Comes down to the old debate of or rotors. But I should be able to handcraft rotors. Yes. Okay. You have to make these parts to manufacture these parts. It's clipping with the tree. So, we can do the base recipe, but it'll require screws. 12 a minute. It's sort of efficient. Not my favorite by any stretch. But I guess it'll do for now. Yeah. Make me some plates while I give you some belts. I got distracted. I was gonna remake these, wasn't I? Making plates is 1-to-1 with smelters. That was a load-bearing power pole, wasn't it? Yes. Yes, it was. The dreaded sound of electrical misfortune. I can just look at the lights on the poles and see that it's back up now. I could go over and look at the electricity display to confirm it, but I don't need to. I can just look at the poles from here. Saves you time. Again, I like things that just give me information. I need enough room for 2 foundations on either side. Chainsaw time. Get out of my way. I need to build foundations. And I don't want you sticking through my foundations. Because it looks jank. Nothing irritates me more than the flowers, because the radius on the chainsaw is so small. It would take me hours to clear all the flowers. Part of my OCD wants to clear all the flowers, but not right now. I'd rather come back later when I have a tool for that. For now, I just want the rest of the things to not stick through. Even the grass sticks through. Look at that. I can't do anything about the grass. Let's build higher. How about that? Nope, grass still sticks through. That's better. Well, Malk, you'll be happy. A lot of people are saying that your favorite little spot over in the grassy fields is now the OP starting spot. Given that North Forest is getting nerfed. Do I have enough room? Math, 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 math. Math in my head. Did I line that up well? Yeah, I think so. Hey, do you have any rips for me? Also, if either Silver or Cat are there, check the YouTube feed, see if the YouTube feed is working. I think that's still broken. Making sure of my positioning before I press build. Nice thing about this layout is everything, when done correctly, should just be automatic right-hand turns. 90-degree turns. I have not powered any of you, and I have not given you a recipe yet. And they're off. Dun 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 dun. I don't know why Bach came to mind. Not Bach, Beethoven. How's everybody's Tuesday? It's gonna go right through that power pole, isn't it? That load-bearing power pole. How's the volume levels? Taking a minute for self-care. Change the title. Okay. What's the title set to then? You don't need to answer, I'm checking. You're right, the title's wrong. I'm actually glad that's working. I'm just gonna need to make a note. All right. Good to know. So, YouTube is working. Background is low. So, like, the game sound? Music? Something like that? Let me know if that's any better. I need to move this screws thing. It's in the way. Also, it annoys me, but, you know, it screws. Wait, do I have... Oh, how do I exist without those? Stackable conveyor poles. How do I live without them? They are my bread and butter. Yes, I just set it on top of a box. Because I don't have stackable conveyor poles. Tier 2. Great. Also, you annoy me. I'm trying to clean you up. Let's see. Let's build this cat and bow style. Because space is limited and verticality is king. The shrubbery will bother me if it's sticking through. But what I mean by cat and bow style is, thank you, Tenso. I'm at least interpreting that to mean that that sound level is better. One, two. This is what bothers me. Okay. I guess it's not quite cat and bow style because cat and bow style has no walls, but I'm just a little autistic like that. The output should be on this side. Do I have floor holes yet? No. Do this the old-fashioned way. Gonna do it Texas style. Check my alignment. Texas style, just raw dogging it. I'm very spoiled. Clearly. Oh, the early levels. There you go, that's running. There's a couple of ways we could do this. Screws. So, yeah. We could make rods, turn rods into screws. I've already got a whole nother setup making nothing but rods right now, though. They're steel screws, but we don't have access to steel right now. And honestly, cast screws saves you an entire step. So, guess which one we're going to use. I miss not being able to get on top of things. Encroaching others' clearance. Clipping with the miner. And out of plates. Give me plates. Thank you. Do this properly at a 90-degree angle. So I really enjoyed the TTRPG we did yesterday. You know I really enjoy it when I sit down and I do writing on it. If y'all haven't gone and go see it, probably should. I enjoy it. But then I have this really weird thing. It's just like I enjoy watching our stuff. I find it enjoyable. I don't think it's that weird. I just hope other people find it enjoyable too. That is, after all, the point. Thinking. Some wings on it. And I'm thinking the wings are gonna be where the bin goes. Sloppy. I will tear this down. I don't even care. I will tear it down. Once all of this is set up and building, I'm thinking I'm going for quartz and deuterium. Quartz for those good boots. Deuterium for the Mark II power poles, because, oh man, these Mark I power poles are annoying. I pretty much live and die off of the Mark II power poles. So what's neat and tidy here? Something like that. Nudge mode is your friend. There is an advanced game setting mode that would let me just skip all of these early levels, just skip it entirely. And believe me, I thought about doing that. But I think the real thing here to showcase is the fact that not much has changed. It's like, okay, we've got access to the alternate recipes. Beyond that, Tier 1 and Tier 2 don't change very much. They're very simple. You have very little unlocked. You're doing pretty much the same motions as you do in vanilla. I mean, really, the only thing that's going to be really markedly different is using the automated biomass burners from refined power once we get those tier 2 parts automated, which is rips and rotors. And this one we're working on right now, that's rips. I'm going to hate myself. It's going to be sloppy. But it's either that or I carry them by hand. Can't even see up there. Screws. Hate screws. Hate dealing with them. They annoy me. I'm looking forward to the part of the game where I can actually build, like, screwless factories. Well, let's put a bin on it. Well, let's talk about mods for a bit. Let me look something up real quick. So that I can talk to you about it. One moment. Okay, Shift L. Had to look up the key for it. Because you have to set these settings every new save. So, this mod, this is the flashlight mod. Now that it's night, you can see the exact problem. This light sucks. So here you are, hundreds of years in the future, on an alien planet, a pioneer on an alien planet, exploiting an alien planet, and the battery-powered flashlight you have is like something out of the 1920s. This is bad. Let's change that. That's a flashlight. Now, of course, it does have downsides. It makes the textures, most of the dark metallic textures, look very flat. So that's a downside, and maybe a reason to not have everything up to Death Star flashlight. Maybe something a little bit around there might be a little more reasonable. I'm always somewhat amused by the flashlight. This is like, it has a few dark spots in it. If I could find just a completely blank surface, I could really show this to you. But none of these surfaces are completely blank. That's something that may have to wait until later. But, you know, put a pin in that. Do I have rips yet? I'm probably going to be running out of fuel soon. 36, 36, 32, 35, 35, 35. Yeah, we're getting there. give that a minute to build. Why did I do this? Much better. Topping off the biomass burners. All the more reason to get to the point in the game where we don't have to. This is what's called busy work. Or chores. Yay! Tier 2! One of these days, I want a snappable box that I can snap onto an existing conveyor belt so that I can drop things onto a belt. For the moment, I'll have to just make do with this. There. Got all that stuff out of my inventory. I'm gonna do some stuff to make that easier later, too. Again, once we have more parts. I know the ability to grab things from belts is a Factorio holdover. But why can't we put things on?
Milestone reached. Improved versions of conveyor belts and conveyor lifts are now accessible. To encourage additional verticality, conveyor poles now have a stackable variant.
Yay! Hey, Sam. How are you feeling today? I hope you're feeling better. I've done this to myself. Yeah, I can imagine. Actually, you know what? I'm me. Let's be smart about this. There. Four rotors. Well, I hope things are going better now. I have to say, though, by this point, it's looking like Satisfactory. The only difference is it's not all clear cut. I still have some trees. I like the trees. Needs trains. Lots of trains. Believe me, when we get to trains, oh man. I was gonna make some rotors, that's right. I was also gonna automate rotors. So there's a couple of ways to do rotors. And I feel some debate on what is the most efficient. Again, efficiency tends to very much be in the eye of the beholder. So let's look at rotors for a moment. Rotors. So. Craft bench version, 5 rods, 25 screws. There's a steel version, copper wire, but we don't have access to steel right now, so that one's out. And then we have this one with 52 screws. So here's the thing. 52 screws. That produces 11 a minute. So that's really actually quite a lot it's producing, but oh man, is it taking 52 a minute? That works out to 22.5 copper sheets a minute and 195 screws a minute. Our belts can't even handle that because we're still at the 60 per minute belt stage. So that one's right out. Which means even though we have all the alternate recipes unlocked, the only one that's even remotely viable is the default. As we say in IT circles, the tyranny of the default. Luckily, however, I have this belt of screws right here. Why is that not in shape? This is what I get for not building on foundations. Iron rods. Oh, look at that. It's right there. I'm out of plates again. Yeah, screws are a problem. Again, there are ways to deal with screws if you gotta deal with them. But the best way to deal with screws is just higher belt speeds. How can you set the table if you don't have plates? I know, right? There we go. Rods. Here, let's have some rods. If you like it, then you should have put a bin on it. Blame Cat for putting this song in my head. The only problem with this is that it takes a 60 belt of screws and divides it into two, so it's 30-30. This takes 100 a minute. We have stackable conveyor poles. F this. F this noise, F this noise, F this noise. Go away. I'm sorry, but for me and my cones and rods, yes, those are the two primary components of the eye. Cones is see color, if I remember correctly, and the rods see black and white, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since high school biology. Stackable conveyor poles, yes please. That's clipping right through the foundation. I hate it. Now, fortunately, I did make 2 lines of screws. The thing about them, though, is cast screws produces 50 a minute. 2 of them, that's 100 a minute. These are 60 belts, so they're 60 capped. Les sigh. We have Mark II belts. Let's put Mark II belts on our bar. That way these guys can move at least 100. And now I'm out of those. Okay. And there's the downside. I get so much use out of these things. Stackable conveyor poles. I use them so much. Because in terms of just factory layout, they solve so many problems. That tree. That tree officially annoys me. Well, that was 3 trees, but okay. At least it's no longer clipping. And I get some rotors. Now, ideally, I'd like to make all these screw belts Mark II. But I don't have enough rips. Two more rotors for another assembler. That's that. The only issue with unlocking the resource sync bonus program is what would we throw into it? This is one of those levels where it's like, I need all my parts. When I start abandoning this particular factory and building factories elsewhere, I could start just throwing everything into the sink, but like, I could unlock it. I can color change stuff, but I'm not gonna really sync anything. Not when I still need everything. Ow. The alignment there is trash. That's better. You've fallen victim to one of the classic blunders. Getting closer. I don't know why I clicked away.
Milestone reached. You have been given early access to
And jump pads,
the
of course.
anti-waste
It's like
effort for stress testing of
stuff
materials
I
on
don't really
exoplanets
use.
bonus program. Funneling parts into the awesome resource sink, depending on their amount and complexity, will grant you coupons in the awesome store, which can be exchanged for bonus rewards. Examples of bonus content are parts, walls, factory attachments, and
DLCs.
cosmetics. Go that extra kilometer. Go awesome.
Not really, but yeah. September 10th, toilet DLC. Oh, that's a joke that wouldn't make sense to people outside the Satisfactory community. Okay. I'm going to explain that joke. There's a toilet in the hub. It doesn't do anything. Everyone's been saying, make it do something. I don't know why, out of all of the other bugs, everybody's like, that's the one thing that should be fixed. So that was the joke. When they announced the release date, it's the toilet flush DLC. Because that's funny, apparently? I don't know. Don't look at me, I'm autistic. This is not running. Because it does not have power. There we go. So I think at this point, I think I will focus on this. Now the, oh yeah, it's still progress. We'll take it. Because pretty much after that, it's like, time to build a space elevator and build space elevator production. Because that's sort of the agenda here. After that, it's off to coal power and steel. I really think I just unlocked jump pads. They're fun, but they're not totally what I would call useful to me. To me. Other people might enjoy them. Not really my thing. So many things take cable right now. Jeez. You clipped me talking about that. Okay, I have to watch this now. You little gremlin. Okay. Yeah, Silver. Clipped perfectly. Clipped perfectly. exactly the way I would have. Oh. Right, the rest of the cable was for making parachute. AKA the one thing Catherine desperately needs. Naturally, uwu. It's just like 50 cable. Probably good on cable now for a little while. Misclick. Let's have a couple. There we go. Going through so many rips right now, I'm kind of thinking of setting up a second production line. Maybe a third. Because once we start doing space elevator parts, it's going to need them too. Yeah, I think that seals it. Except I need rips to make them. The grass sticking through the foundation still annoys me, but I can't do anything about it, except build way off the ground. Which I will do later. Just, it's a starting factory, who cares? I care, apparently. Answered my own question. So, this is all Mark II now. So, in theory, this guy's going to get his 100 a minute, so he should go a little faster. But this guy... yeah, this is going to annoy me. Remember what I said about economy of time on Saturday? This is what I was talking about. It's like, sure, you can pick the most efficient recipe that, you know, uses the absolute minimum of, you know, electrical power and the minimum of base materials. But if you're sitting here waiting for 2 hours for a part that you need, it's not fun. I'd much rather build efficient, as in builds things faster. Especially if I have more materials on hand than I actually need to build it. Point in case. Illustrating that point. So, iron plates. Honestly, all of the different recipes shine in kind of their own way. The bolted plate is just, if you can throw screws at it really, really quickly, it will produce them the fastest. Stitched iron plates is a nice middle ground where it doesn't use like 52 a minute, it uses 20 wire a minute, which is more reasonable. And they're both like tier 1 parts as opposed to wanting rubber here, which is a tier 4 part. I mean, really what you're paying for there in a very low resource cost is rubber, a tier 4 part. So this is a nice middle ground, I sort of feel like. We're gonna use this for a bit. Because, hey, I have a box with wire in it. The wire's mostly feeding the Pioneer right now, but we can change that. Snag some plates from our plate line. Now we need some electrons. Why did I do that? Much better. Ah, yes, electrons. The best part is I'm planning on tearing down this. Oh, and they started to run out, didn't they? 62, 59, 62, 62, 63. They didn't run out. I think we overspent our power budget. All right. Oh boy. I need to focus on automated biomass at this point. Oh yes, we all have those moments. You know, human upgrade firmware patch 1.1. Fixed bug where human walked into the next room and forgot why they went there. I can't put my hands in the air and do jazz hands, but imagine I'm doing jazz hands when I say, "Yay, my autism." Yup. Overspent our power budget. I love how you can throw cloth in a biomass burner. I just fixed you. I think part of what's going on here is we're also at a low cycle in the wind. Because we do have those wind turbines up. And the wind's gotten sluggish. All the more reason to get the automated biomass burners up and running. But, hey, put up a little more wind just to try and cover the gap. That's about all it's good for right now. Until you get better versions. Also, I went on the air at 2. I'll go until about 6. That's 4 hours, and I'm about to hit my halfway point. So I'm thinking of doing a 5-minute break for self-care. In the meantime, I can let the factory just build. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take 5 minutes. I'm going to go bio break. Be right back. So apparently, when I went live, another thing that didn't work correctly, the link that I put in the social media post saying, oh, I'm going live, it was the moderator view for my stream. Fortunately, unless they're a mod, that won't do anything. I just... Oops. I was not paying attention when I started streaming. I was so focused on other issues. I was focused on tech issues. It's like, why is the source not correct? Why is the microphone not working? Please tell me the microphone's working. The system sees the microphone, so the microphone should be working. Okay, good. Thank you, Sam. Oh, look! I already have 50 rips from the stitched plate recipe. It just produces faster. I don't know what to say. I just... There we go. That little 5-minute break. We now have enough parts to build the 14 automated biomass generators from refined power. Only thing we need now is a place to put them. I've already got a thought. So, I haven't used any of this side. I've been all the way on that side of the valley. I'm gonna go over here. Because the bonus part, so I can attach it to the end where the bio nuggy logs are coming out. So, win-win. But I'm gonna need to clear some shrubbery. Because I needed about 3-4 foundations wide and about 20 long. So I'm going that way. I want to save some room over on the left-hand side over by those other 2 iron nodes, because I'm going to use those iron nodes to build space elevator and space elevator parts. They're going to get their own iron nodes, because that's one of the advantages of starting someplace with 6 iron nodes. You can do that. You have a budget. So... chainsaw time. This has the added advantage that I forget that I don't have any nuggies left. This is just going to be indicative for how this whole playthrough is going to go, isn't it? I'm going to need some biofuel to stick in the biofuel burners, so might as well. So yeah, that's sort of the plan. There's 2 iron nodes over here, over by that piggy. I only think I need 1. Gonna have an iron node to spare. That's okay. When I come back somewhere around trains, tear this all down, rebuild this whole factory, I'm going to use absolutely every iron node in the area. Because that thing, that factory, it's going to make 50 modular frames a minute, probably 50 rips a minute, 50 rotors, 780 wire, and maybe about 200 copper sheets when we get that factory built here. But, the only problem is delivering. Logistics is always the nightmare. Essentially the way I play. I make a dead beeline for trains. Start here, but abandon this factory pretty quickly. Basically, as soon as I get coal and steel up and running. First factory I build after the starting factory is a steel factory. And then I start building the main factory, the Megaplex. Once the Megaplex is up and running, it acts as a part distribution and holding facility. It receives the incoming steel and makes the space elevator parts, pretty much from that point on. Once trains are unlocked, I build a giant train station in the factory to help serve the factory. And then send trains everywhere, including here, out in the North Forest. Did my inventory just fill? No, why is it doing that? Every once in a while, when you're using the chainsaw, it just doesn't. Spends the fuel, doesn't gather anything. Or gathers very little, it's weird. If I could pin down why it does it, I'd do a bug report. By the way, I did file the bug report for that weird zipline glitch from Cat's stream on Friday. I don't expect Coffee Stain's going to respond, because they're on vacation right now, but... They'll probably just go, lol, and move on. Honestly, that's what I would do. There, if I ever absolutely need to land on something. Alright. So what I've done there is I've finished off the milestone console. All this is done until we finish the space elevator. We might be able to poke around at some of these things, but honestly, that's just not the point right now. And actually, do remind me later. We should probably poke at the man things later, but right now, I need some more rotors. Yeah, somewhere in the last 5 to 10 minutes, I managed to spend 40 rotors on something. Probably the milestone console. It's enough to get started. Because these bad boys are not going to last as much longer. We need to get some backup up and running. I only have 6 biomass burners up at the moment, but that's okay. I'm about to build 14. Why 14, you ask? I don't know. Felt good. Oh yeah, giant train station. Giant train station, Sam. You have no idea. It will be glorious. For those who do not know me as well as Sam, I like trains. I like trains. For me, half the fun of this game is train simulator. But gotta make a dead run to trains to get there. So, these are the automated biomass generators for modular power. They are essentially, in all ways, exactly the same as the base game ones. The only difference between them is the input slot. And honestly, from what I can tell from the pictures, the only difference between these biomass burners and the ones that the actual vanilla game is going to have is they don't stick out quite as far. They've got this huge apron, see? The vanilla ones by Coffee Stain should have much less apron to them. But they'll work for what I need. That is... Oh, yes, absolutely peak autism. Absolutely peak autism. Something else that is peak autism. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. That is the 2 biomass burners facing each other, directly against each other, no clipping, right, perfectly aligned. You put the splitter between them, the gap is not the same on either side. I move it around, the gap is still uneven on either side. This is the stuff that bugs me. If you don't play Satisfactory, you probably have no idea why this bugs me. Alright. Let's try a little bit of a gap. Peak autism. Does that line up? Can't tell. You know, another thing these biomass burners need is they need a ladder. I think it's lined up. Yeah, it's lined up. They don't need really fast belts. Except for maybe the feeder belt. Okay. Are we done with... I don't even care anymore. I'm gonna go back to making bio nuggies. Oh. That alignment was piss. I can do better than that. Train disc. I will watch that after. I can do better than that. Come on. Putting the hyperactivity in ADHD. That ought to make that a little more efficient. There. I made the parachute, and now I will just throw all of this cloth into a bin and never look at it. Probably until tier 4 when I actually get like things to make out of cloth. And now that we have them all up on bricks, we can do this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Two, 3, 4. Oh, that's where I run out of rotors. Yeah, it's okay. Let's at least... I can't tell if that's lined up. Close enough for my standards, I suppose. Yeah, the alignment markers are working. That's good. I have sort of a love-hate with them. Love-hate relationship. Sometimes they just appear for no apparent reason and aren't very helpful. But apparently this time they're right on the money. Okay. The best part about this setup for power is gonna last us until somewhere in tier 3 and tier 4 when coal is already up and running, and the next refined power tier is hydropower. It's also around the time we get steel and batteries, so once the batteries go up, all of this can come down. That's also about the time when I take all of this biomass material and start feeding it into a refinery and making fuel out of it. But one thing at a time. I need rotors. And you get to hear me rant about how biofuel is the best fuel in the game. In the words of Yoshi P, please look forward to it. The audience shudders. Just a few more minutes, I'm going to tear down all those old ones. They're probably mostly empty anyway. But I want to repurpose what fuel's left. We're good for this platform. There we go. And then I fail to make the jump because I don't have the quartz boots. I need to do that. I'm focusing on this because power was becoming an issue. I perceive you, Manta Ray. Go away now. Much better. Much better. Self-feeding biomass burners. I don't have to deal with it. Space flap flap. I like that. Alright, we're gonna take all of this and go. Much better. That was a load-bearing power pole. Fourteen biomass burners, 3 megawatts each, should be 420. Max capacity should be 420. Yes, I picked it because it's funny, funny weed number. Did I not? Oh, not everything has fuel left. Right. It's still in the... Right. Yeah. This is the problem with manifolds. Manifolds take time to fully populate. That should help. It was being throttled 60 in and 60 out into this bin. I just increased it to 120. That should help. You know, I've never even been on Adric's Satisfactory. I've never actually been in it. I've just watched it from afar. Thank you, parachute, for parachuting, protecting me from the 1 foot drop. Great. Okay, I can't put it off any longer. It's that time. Here we go. I'm gonna wander up a hill here for a minute. Pick boy. Don't worry, I'm not keeping it here. Once I build the mega factory, it's getting moved to the mega factory, but just to get through this phase. The problem is, this is the North Forest. Nothing's flat here. That's the whole thing about the North Forest. It's not flat. Nothing's flat. Of course. I go and I build a foundation pad to put it on, and then realize I needed those materials to build a space elevator with. Great. Making a 7x7 pad. It's gonna get picked up later. Because, yeah, you see this road? Right here, coming out of this valley? Going up that way? That's gonna be the railroad line when this becomes a factory. At least all the lights are green. That's a good sign, right? Space flap flap. Now I want to watch that clip that Silver made. I still don't... Did I not grab plates? Or did I just spend them all making a ramp? Or both? Both could be the case. Yeah, the bin's empty. So yeah, I came over here and grabbed from the bin. There we go, Mark II. Now the good news is, Silver Catboy is streaming. I'm gonna go bug him later. I'm waiting for the plates to build. I need the plates. Please, sir, I need some plates. Riveting gameplay. This is why I call Satisfactory a chill game. There we go, that'll do. I love it when the parachute goes upwards. Physics engines. Hooray! I built the platform in the wrong place. There are trees sticking up out of it. And now I understand why lumberjacks want to burn the whole forest down. Okay, is this flat? Floor too steep. It will only build above my head. I'd point out that the space elevator has a huge apron, but the building is huge. Everything about it is huge. Feels redundant. And there goes space flap flap. Okay. Here we go. Yay! You finally figured out attacking back! Alright! Come on, Piggy. Come on. Bye. Riveting gameplay. Okay. Need a bunch of wire. Okay. Who's alive out there? He tells me I should wrap up about 5 o'clock, I think. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. I think we'll get this space elevator stuff started. And then I'll wander off into the forest and find Caterium and quartz. And let things just build. Plates again. Yay, plates. That's right. Much better, much better. First key, always build off the ground. Helps deal with the ground being irregular and not flat. And lets the creatures just sort of roam beneath them. Meanwhile, we have a nice flat surface. All right. Let's see. Should have enough room for 5. Yeah. There we go. I think here. Need 2 parts. Need rips. Needs rotors. And they go up there. So, those are both tier 2 pieces. So let's get a couple of assemblers up. Rotors, which, as you're aware, has the whole 100 a minute on screws. So, cast screws times 2, because those are 50 each, if you recall. Oops, I made that too close. Rods. Oh, that's one. For the rips, I think I'll use stitched iron again. It's far preferable over the base version. So we need plates and wire. Some plates. Actually, let's put the plates on the outside, and then we're going to put wire here. We're going to cheat. Iron wire. $12.5 a minute, 12.5 a minute. 15. 12.5. 30. So this bad boy gets its own dedicated smelter, because, again, smelters do iron at 30 a minute. Hi, cat. Welcome back. I'm glad to have you. How you been? Work's been slow. I hear that. But that's preferable, isn't it? So, space elevator, it's up. It's over there. It's space elevator. I redid the power with the automated biomass murders. It's running. There are 14 of them They're being fed, being belt fed. So, power is not an issue for the moment. So this line is just gonna make space elevator part. Which thing? The automated biomass burner? Not currently, but at 1.0, yes. Yeah. Biomass belts. Base game, vanilla, Satisfactory, upon 1.0. It's going to be in the 1.0 patch. Previously, no. And the stuff we've done so far, the stuff we're doing now, no, that's a mod. But come 1.0, yes. This is just one of those things where the developers sort of agreed. It's like, yeah, this restriction was debilitating and grindy and lessens the experience, and so they themselves agreed, yeah, we're gonna put a belt input on it. I would also argue that the one that Copy Stain is going to do would be better, because it uses tier 1 parts instead of tier 2, where these guys are rips and rotors, whereas the base game ones are tier 1 materials, because you have to make them immediately just to function. The only reason why this version is made of tier 2 materials is an attempt to balance it. Pure and simple. All of these should already be programmed, they just need power. And the last thing we need the piece for which all of this is for naught. The smart plating. And there we go. Space elevator part being made. Do a quick check. Make sure I didn't mess it up anywhere. Oh, yeah. Missing belts. There you go. We go. Waiting for the first rips to come out. There they come. And then I'm thinking Deuterium, quartz. So how's life treating you, Kat? I was telling my therapist, it's like, we actually went and started doing the thing this week. There you go. First part. A little bit of ceremony. 1 out of 50. Okay. Time to do literally anything else for a while. Yeah, do some MAM unlocks. Explore a pit. Grab some slugs. Grab some alternative resources. Literally anything but factory building now. It's like, we've been doing that for hours. All right, it's after 5. I was going to go a bit longer today, but things are a bit quiet, so it's fine. It's a Tuesday. I plan to keep doing this a bit more this week, but I'm thinking I'll send you over to visit the cat boy so that, you know, we can harass the Catboy back. See if I can clip him doing some incriminating things. I don't know. We'll see. In the meantime, we'll just let this build for a little while, shall we? I believe he's doing Supermarket Simulator still. Because that's his current hyperfixation, and I'm not going to argue with a hyperfixation. I would have no grounds to talk. Everybody, have fun.